Thank you so much. Great to be here. A lot of pressure, obviously. Hi, I'm Lars from IDSA. And it is written in the program that I shall talk and enlighten you, so to say, what data spaces are. So I'm CEO of the International Data Spaces Association, so I should be an authority on that, right? So we are on track since over 8 years. We've been founded as a non-profit organization 2016, and at that point in time, no one talked about data spaces. No one actually did know what this is, and we've coined that term. And this is how we started. So, and also referring to Peter, so obviously related to AI. So if you do not know what's happened, so that's kind of magic. And this is what we came across in the last years. And it's not only us as IDSA, but also the European Commission said, like, we're in a digital decade, and we are on something big with data spaces. And this will make business, economies, and our life, society, dramatically better. Okay, great. That's nice. We would all love to see that. I want to give you a little bit more deep insights in that. So, what are data spaces actually, if you have a deeper look? It's nothing less than a paradigm shift for the way how we share data, how we make data available. Therefore, it will be a prerequisite to make data economy and game changes like AI happen. So therefore, I'm super happy about Peter's introduction and your question. What are data spaces? What are they for? Well, he was a little bit like thinking very long when he had to answer the question on how do you get the data? And this is exactly the problem. So we will not make data economy and AI happen if we do not solve the problem how we really can get all data available to train all these foundation models in the domains and overall. Currently, most of the data is not shared. 98% of the data is not shared. It is in the basements of the companies. We are training all the AI models on data from the internet, open data, data that is more or less old, but not really on a daily basis, not on the beating heart of a company like Volkswagen. That is the data that is really of value if you want to make use of AI better. And that is what we need to make happen, and what we have to build in data spaces. So therefore, what are data spaces? At the end, it's very easy. It's the sum of all endpoints that are able to share data with each other. And we want to maximize that number of data endpoints. And therefore, well, we need obviously a decentralized, centralized, federated data architecture. Well, peer-to-peer is always a good idea. No silos, no vendor dependency. Let's make life as easy as possible. Data sovereignty, trusted participants, and usage control. Why am I saying that? We always talk about data economy. What is data economy really? What does it call for? Secure end-to-end data exchange. So if you want to share data, if we want to convince companies or individuals or public administrations to share data, they need to trust everyone in that ecosystem. That ecosystem is per se open, and you do not know everyone. This is the beauty of the internet. So why should I share the most valuable asset that I have, my data, with someone I don't know? Why should I contribute to value co-creation where I do not know how that ends up? And that is the problem that we need to solve. So we have to make sure that we have trusted parties, trusted infrastructures, trusted software components. We need to understand the others. We need to have the data models, also foundation models for AI, for example. We need to be able to process data, remote execution, so compute to data, data to compute, whatever. And at the end, we want to monetize data. That means we need to consider data as an economic asset. What does that mean? Well, you need to have a price tag on it, and who may use it and who not. So therefore, we have to talk about usage policies and enforcement. Can current internet do that? No. So the internet protocol is not feasible to really serve data spaces. So we need something new. So we need something like a data space protocol. That is exactly what we are building currently, and this is like the foundation to build data spaces, but we need much more. But just to make you aware of what we need, if we build software and services, they need to cope with these features that you can see here. I don't want to read all of that, but this is, it's not like you upload a file in your browser and then that's it. That is how the internet works. We need to upload a file in a piece of software. We can call it participant agent, we can call it connector, and this connector needs to do that. So trust frameworks, identity management, policy management. That is what we need to do with data. We are playing an ecosystem game, we've heard that before. And this is what we all truly believe. So this is part of our rulebook, IDSA data space rulebook, where we see like how all of these things stick together. You have a data space, you have someone who governs the data space, Catena X, for example. But then you have to write down the policies somewhere and store them and make them accessible to everyone. So we have iShare for that. Then you have, well, who are you as a data space? What services are you providing? Well, Gaia X is helping on that end. And then you have the participant, the company, that is part of the ecosystem, and they need to act and share data. Well, that is what it's all about. And then you end up with a functional overview of a data space. I just show this picture. So this picture is, I think, 7 years old, and this picture is 10 days old. Very similar. So we have a very consistent view on what data spaces are. This is from IDSA, and we are now part of the Data Spaces Support Center. So obviously, we pretty well know what a data space is and how we can make it happen, and also all the feature sets and all the requirements that I just mentioned before, so that companies and people are really willing to share data. Because at the end, it's about trust. I need to trust that ecosystem. It's okay to do value co-creation, but then I also want to participate in the value co-creation. I give data in an ecosystem, someone does something great with it, so I want to have some revenue. How can we really make that data lineage or data provenance tracking happen? Because, well, with the large language models, with AI, whatever, value chains like Catena X, hundreds of companies are adding to the value creation, so everyone should have his or her share. I don't want to bother you with all these complex architectural view graphs. We will hear later on from the Data Spaces Support Center, which is mandated from the European Commission, where most of our organizations are part of. They have created the building blocks that you need to build a data space. So if you want to make that happen, what I said at the beginning, you need all of these building blocks, organizational, business, and technical building blocks. And well, you can view that in different dimensions so that you really have all the features on governance, on software and services, and also on commercialization that you need to make your wish, your dream, your business model happen. This is part of the new data space blueprint from the Data Spaces Support Center that will be presented today later on. And it will be also part of the big European smart middleware platform, Simple. So let's chat about that during one or more coffees. My second message, after like what I said before, that we are on a really big thing with data spaces that will make our lives dramatically better, I want to say that building it and doing it, it's not magic. And I've heard that a lot of data spaces will be built, and here in Finland, a lot of things will be kickstarted and have already been kickstarted and will be kickstarted soon. So I want to reassure you that things are there. It's not really a secret how to build it. Now our ambition should be to build all the hundreds of data spaces so that we can serve all the great AI and data economy dreams that we have. And here, so we have all the experts here in the room. We have IDSA, we have Gaia X, we have Fireware, we have My Data, we have iShare, we have all these great organizations. Everyone contributes a small piece of it. And this is all consistent. You can read it here. It's not a secret. So please get in touch with the respective organizations, and then we need some bright minds to design that and build the data spaces. And my last comment here is let's go for for the data space protocol as the foundation, because at the end we want to connect all imaginable data endpoints, like the internet protocol, and therefore we are working on the data space protocol, which serves some first needs, fundamental needs of sharing data, and this should be the baseline for all the data spaces that we see. I end here. I have a lot of examples to show for data spaces. Just a list here. We have some very mature ones like Catena X, AG Data Hub, Smart Connected Supplier Network will be shown later on. We have the data space radar. You can see what is happening out there. More than 150 are on it, and the latest entries from the data are written there. So I love Potato X. So let's discuss about all the data spaces. Let's share the insights, and well, let's make that magic happen. Thank you very much. Looking forward to all the discussions.